Good evening, and it's another exciting episode of Ought to Know Better with myself, Jay, and OKB regulars, Smarty, who we're privileged to see, Luke, who I'm never that happy to see, and Gilly, who, not bothered either way, to be fair. He's all right most of the time.
Cheers, pal.
How are you doing, lads?
A lot of love in here. A lot of love in here today.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back and try and exercise the memory of that awful B&C that me and Gilly had to do.
You didn't have to listen to it.
You could have been me.
Yeah, we were worried it was going to be. Right then, so on to the horror show from the off. I mean, normally when we've had a game that bad, like we don't talk about it much, but seems me and Gilly had to talk about it. I want to see you guys suffer a little bit. So, Luke, what do you reckon to that?
Right, where do I start? So I had a bottle of Morgan Spiced on the train on the way down.
How did that go for you?
Great, I had a great day. Some other people probably didn't have as good a day as me, but they were shy. I mean, there's no beat around the bush. I watched the last half an hour on my phone outside the stadium because I was asked politely to leave. So
you do such a brilliant job of representing us on the road, Well,
I usually wear a cap and one of them set of glasses with a funny nose on, so nobody can recognise me. But they've cut and done now. It was a shit performance. There's no two ways about it. Not having a shot on target for 90 minutes of football against a relatively shit team with the two best players missing is, it's inexcusable.
It's unthinkable. It's just not what we're used to. We've not seen football that dire ever. I don't think under Bielsa.
No, I think I'd agree. That's just before you go on. That's arguably our worst performance, other than when we got beat by 10-man Wigan. Even though that was still a good performance, we got beat. I think footballing
chances and stuff.
Yeah, footballing wise, that was our worst performance, I think, under Bielsa.
Yeah. Take it away, Smarty.
Well, to be honest, I was watching the game on an iPad at a fucking 5-year-old's party that I had to go to. And I literally got to about 60th minute and sacked it off and went and started doing the cha-cha slide because it was absolutely fucking dire. And I hate dancing and I hate kids' parties as well. I found it. Oh, it's fucking shit. I wouldn't bounce to Castle Lot, living my dream. They were just shit across the field. It's such a poor watch. I had back to, like you said, the Wigan game and stuff like that when we lost 2-1 after going 1-0 up and an extra man up as well. At least we were creating stuff. At least we were trying to do something. We were just completely devoid of anything. It was shocking. It was laughable. I had people saying, "Oh, Leeds are doing well, are they?" All that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, fuck off, you twat. And then I just literally went, fuck it. I'm going to go do the okey cokey. Fuck it.
Might as well, mate. Might as well.
Do they still do that at kids' parties?
Yeah, they do, yeah. They started blacking on some black lace and all that. It's a bit retro.
Black lace.
Gilly, what do you think?
Dire, absolutely dire.
I even as bad as it was, and having reflected on it, I still think that the worst thing of the day was Hassan Hootel in the full suit with no socks on and white trainers. I'm not having any of that at all. It's disgusting. It's just outrageous behaviour. Just to reflect on the predictions, we won't spend long on it because nobody got any points.
Please God, no.
Job
Makes
done.
a change, to be fair.
Ought to know better predictions.
There we go. You see, so Adam at the top of the league shared the wooden spoon with Jay, where they get this week's Wankers Wotton for going for the biggest Leeds margin of victory, where they both went for 3-0.
The day optimistic Jay died.
Could have took the real.
We only had him for a week, but I say he only appeared for a week. It's nice to see he's fucked off. You know, that's nice.
He got a bit crushed, did optimistic Jay. You know, all those good intentions and stuff, and then a performance like that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sad that no one got any points, seeing as I got hammered. But you know, I'll have my day.
Anyone else?
Every dog has his day, Jay.
Every Jay has his day, pal. Every Jay has his day.
Every Jay has his dog in Huddersfield.
I've got nothing to say to that, to be fair. Absolutely sick to death of you lot. Bastards. I don't live in Huddersfield anyway. Anyway, we had a poll going today, didn't we? And for the first time in like what seems like forever, Smarty actually did the poll.
Oh, Smart Move Smarty.
Smart move, Smarty.
Smart move, Smarty. It's come back with a blaze of glory.
It's a pleasure to be back, lads. It's a pleasure to be back. No,
In
yeah.
case anybody didn't know, Smarty's had the most stressful house move. He's the only person ever to have moved house before, I think. So that's why he's not been on for the last few weeks, because he's he's been organising the Third World War by moving house about 300 yards down the road.
Them bastards at Virgin not giving me any internet for 3 weeks. I've actually had to strike up conversations with my missus and kids, man.
Outrageous.
No, man.
It's absolutely unacceptable. Apparently it's her birthday in a few weeks. But anyway, each week we ask the listeners to vote via a poll on our Twitter accounts for the main subject of the pod. This week's options were points available or points achievable from the next 5 games. The future is bright with our under-23s. The Rodrigo experiment, ... Given our run of results, are we in an early relegation battle? So, future's bright, 14%. HMS destination fucked with 20%. Rodrigo gone, 30%. And the winner with 36% of the vote was points from the next 5 games. So, I'll go around the room. I'll start off with our hostess with the mostest. What sort of points are we going to get over the next 5 games, being Wolves, Norwich, Leicester, Tottenham and Brighton in that order?
You saved me a job there, because with me being so prepared, I were actually just looking up the fixtures thinking, what the fuck are the next 5 games?
You sat there shitting yourself.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know.
Don't be that one. But of course it is. Fucking hell, next 5 games. I think as a minimum we need to be taking at least sort of 8 points out of it. But the way
8 points? Where are you getting your 8 points from?
I'm not sure at this point.
Well, you got to, because I'm going to write a little table down here. I mean, no, I've gone for 7. I've gone for 7.
Have to come back.
Hey, fail to prepare to fail. You fucking wet wipe. You've got to get. You're fucking host. Prepare to what? Fail to prepare to fail.
Easy for you to say.
Prepare.
I thought fucking. I thought Carl was on with Jimmy the Ref then for a second.
Jesus Christ!
Blimey!
It's my first week back.
What was that?
No heart.
Jesus Christ! First week back, and you've already made the end of season highlights. Well done. Right,
best bits, piss takes, outtakes, and Gilly's best bits.
That's it. And Mad Adam's Mad Takes that needs an episode to itself. So Wolves, do you know what? Fuck it. Optimistic Jay's coming back for a bit. We're gonna fucking beat them. So 3 points there. I don't know how we're gonna beat them, but you know we are, because I can't believe there won't be a reaction from that performance. I can't. So fuck it. We're winning that one. Norwich, we're winning that one. Leicester, let's have a draw. Spurs, they're shit, so we'll probably get beat by them because that's what we do. And then Brighton, they always beat us, so this year we're going to beat them. Fuck them. So that's even more points. Fuck it. I don't even know how many I've said.
That was your 8 points. Oh, no, it wasn't.
I mean, no, he's got 10. Jay's got 10.
10 points.
I would say we need a minimum of 8. We need a minimum of 8, but I think that's the way it'll
10. Wow.
But you meant 10.
No, I think we need a minimum of 8.
Jane is quick maths.
Minimum of 8, but I think we'll get those 10. No, I do.
Right, okay. Jay's going for 10.
But if we get 8, I won't be that upset. I'll be all right with that.
Right, Luke, moving on.
I have to be honest, seeing in the flesh how poor we were at the weekend, if we don't get some of our key players back, we're going to struggle against Wolves. They're dynamic. They're playing all right. They're not, they've lost games that they potentially probably should have won. And I don't want to speak too much on Wolves because I know that's a particular segment we're going to come on to in a short while. But I don't see us getting a big win against Wolves. I think we'll be lucky if we get a draw. So I'll take a point there. Norwich, I'm hoping we can beat them. Not won a game all season. Even with our under-23s out, we should be able to beat that shite. So I'm taking 3 points there. One at home to Wolves. We're going to lose to Leicester, lose to Spurs, and we'll get a point at Brighton. I'm going to go 5 points.
That's fair enough. Gillick, same question.
Same answer. I think we're
really?
going to be lucky to box a score draw against Wolves. Jimenez, I'd said it for a couple of weeks, and he started scoring, and he's scoring. He scored in international break. He's scoring for Wolves, and obviously they got that superstar striker at the play up wing, in Traore. I've written it down. So I think we get a point at Wolves against Wolves. Arsenal knock us out of cup. We smash Norwich 4-0. We get fuck all against Leicester. We get fuck all against Spurs. And I just want to point something out though, Luke. We're looking at Brighton saying we're going to get a point. Norwich. We're going to beat it because they haven't won all season. Neither did Southampton.
Yeah, good point. Good point. We're there to break records, aren't we, to be fair?
That's it.
You're testing me.
Brighton are in 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They're
fuck
still
them.
not a great side.
They've gone 6 unbeaten. I mean, last three results they've had have been draws, but they're playing well at the minute, and we're not. But there's five fixtures for us between then and now. So
Yeah,
I think 5 points. Wolves a point, Brighton a point, Norwich a win, Leicester and Spurs we don't get out.
At least Cal's going to be happy because his mate Mum Pie's doing okay.
I've gone slightly more optimistically than you two. I've gone 7. I think we will lose to Wolves. I think we'll beat Norwich. I think we'll draw with Leicester. Don't know why, just think we will. Lose to Tottenham, and I think we'll beat Brighton, but I also think we'll get knocked out in Cup against
You
Arsenal.
think we'll draw with Leicester because by then Gaffer will be up at Newcastle?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe they'll feel sorry for us. I don't know. I don't know. I reckon we'll sneak one in against Leicester. Norwich. If we can't beat Norwich, then we need to just fuck off, don't we? Just liquidate.
Just on the cup. I know it wasn't. I know it's one of our next 5 fixtures, but it's not a league fixture. The two of you there saying you fancy us to get knocked out at Arsenal. Do you think it's going to be a youth game cup effectively? Do you think Arsenal play their fringe players and we'll be playing our young lads, or what? How do we see it?
I see it similar to how we set up against them the other year. I think it'll be a lot of fringe players, maybe a couple of starters, and a bit of youth. Myself, maybe Forshaw might make an addition.
Coming back from injury.
Yeah, I think they'll put out some strength.
Yeah, I think they will.
Yeah.
They'll have Pepe.
What else have they got?
I think it's quite important to them, innit, that cup. So.
Yeah, what else have they got? They've got a realistic chance if they take it seriously, and I think they'll put out a strong side.
I'd love to win a cup, but not at the expense of his Premier League status.
You've got a nice couple of A cups.
Well, I try my best, mate. Still growing.
It was an haircut when he was born.
34 double knees now.
Your head's like a fucking J cup. Anyway. So yeah, I think that's a pretty broad spectrum there.
So
anyway,
I can't actually believe, just a second before we move on, I can't believe Jay is the most optimistic out of the 4 of us here.
Hey,
Doing his big 10 points.
Must be something in the water, lads. Must be something.
10
in the
from
water.
15, he reckons.
We're having it.
Hey, I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're
We're
right.
having it.
We've been
We're
absolutely
having it.
bugger.
Someone's got to be optimistic. You know what I mean? I dread to think what fucking.
Yeah, it's
Twitter's
just not
gonna be
usually
like.
you.
No,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, but you lads have all turned.
I suppose when you're Jay, the only way is up.
Well, you know. There is that as well.
Vertically challenged. I'm not negative. I just think that, given us run of form and all that sort of stuff, and the players we've got available, and I just think we're struggling, and we're struggling for the wrong reasons. Some of the reasons, like we click and Dallas and stuff like that, just not performing. It's just totally unlike them. I understand that we're missing Furpo, we're missing Raff, we're missing Phillips, we're missing Bamford. Key players. But I mean, there's other players there that should be able to step up, and they've just gone absolutely missing. But
there's very
our
few
front three was still worth nearly 70 million at the weekend.
Mad, innit?
And we created fuck all with 70 million quid's worth of the front three. Do you know what I mean? It's not looking ideal, is it? Do you know? Raf, we miss absolutely massively. Calvin is pivotal to us, and unless we put somebody else in that role who is the same caliber or similar sort of player to Calvin, we just go to shit. And Strike is not the answer. Do you know? He's not the answer for it.
What about half man, half biscuit for sure? That's been dipped.
I think he would have been a better option.
That's been dipped.
Like a wet rich tea.
In a brew. Absolutely. In plastic. Dummy again.
I think really a better option than Strike, though.
No, I do. I think he is, but when he's available and fit.
Yeah. It really winds me up. Like, if we ain't got Calvin playing, you know there's a strong chance we're going to lose a game, and I hate that, and it should not be the case.
I hate the formation when they play
good as he is, it
back as well.
Yeah, me too.
I hate that formation. It just does not work at all. Playing Struick in middle back does not work at all. It's just there's just a massive void, just a chasm of space that people exploit. The team just love playing through, and we just part like the Red Sea, and it's horrible to watch.
It is.
I think the only positive to take out of the games we've played this season is
Corona test.
No, it's Corona test.
Yeah, the only positive thing.
Oh, fuck it, I'll fuck off. It's Jamie Shackleton.
Oh yeah,
he's played really well. Do you know what I was just about to say? That if Forshaw's not available, he's played really well, and actually that's his position. I'd rather see him in there than Strike.
Would you? Yeah. I think you're probably right. I would, but we've got so many options when it comes to that. Lewis Bate has been ripping it up for the 23s in there, absolutely ripping it up. Why not give him an opportunity rather than trying to force square pegs in round holes with Strike? Strike's a fantastic centre back. Don't get me wrong, but he's not got the passing range. He's not got he's not got the defensive acumen, if you like, to play that little bit further forward. He's a centre back, and he's a no nonsense centre back with a little bit of ball. Do you know what I mean? Ball control, and as soon as Calvin's out of there, we need to try and get somebody as like for like in there, whether they're 18 years old or not, or haven't got first team experience. I mean, I don't know. It just frustrating.
I think the crazy thing about that is you don't until you do. How are they going to get first team experience without playing? But the other side to that is if you're insistent on playing a centre back in that Calvin role when Calvin's unavailable, we've got a better centre back that played at the weekend that could step in there and do a better job than Strike in Llorente. Now, Llorente for me is our best centre back, but he's also our best ball playing centre back and the best reader of the game. So he's also going to fare better further forward. I think it's crazy to put Strike in there when you know that Strike is a very strong centre back.
It can ping a good pass.
Yeah.
Who can?
That's what we need. Llorente.
All right, yeah.
All right, yeah. Give me some shit then.
I thought you were on about Strike. That is not his game. You know what I mean? He's no nonsense. Cut out the ball, fucking win the ball in the air.
Slap a few fucking ankles.
Old school type Dutch centre back. Do you know what I mean? He's not made for that more progressive role. When Calvin's not there, and we miss him at centre back, ironically, but we miss somebody in Calvin's role more when he plays there. It's almost like it's a double-edged sword for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after like the last game, there's every chance that he might give some other players a chance. Like, we know he's very loyal to his players usually, but they've let him down big time, and can't help but feel there might be a consequence to that.
Yeah, but how? Because there's no replacements. We've got no option but to play Rodrigo and Tyler Roberts as it stands.
No, but I mean, like some of the 23s players, like the ones that have been on the bench, Gellart, Somerville, they might get in. They might get a chance. You never know.
They should. And they should.
They should only be the last chance when we don't have anyone else. You know,
We don't.
in turn, yeah, but that's what I mean. No, we do though, but they're just not stepping up to the plate, and they're not good enough, or they're not.
Yeah,
they're
but how
not
long do you
performing as well as they
persist?
should do.
How
Well,
long do you persist with those people?
Well, is it because they're not getting enough game time? You know, there's a lot of contributing factors in there, but at the end of the day, we're not performing well, and whether that's down to the formations
But when we're at that level, this is when we need to be. And like you say, it's almost a catch-22. Do we take a risk and try somebody who's ready made for that position, but not got the experience, such as your Greenwood or your Gelhart and Bate in the CDM role, or do we try and force somebody who's got the first team experience but is not ready made for that role? Obviously, Bielsa's ideology is that he thinks the experience is more important than their starting position. But it's frustrating for us as fans when we're seeing players not performing those positions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. It's just when you know you've got other players who do play those roles, it's hard to watch them not get played and to see other people shoehorned in. If it works, then great, but it hasn't, has it? So that's the problem. But I tell you what, all these people that go on Twitter and start saying we need a new manager, they can get in fucking bin.
Fucking hell.
And on that note, I think Smarty's got a little video to play for us from our partner.
Want to know better? Excited to announce a new partnership. 3 Retro is the retro football shop. 3 Retro was born from the love of the game, from historical nights on the cold terrace, and from the love of vintage shirts of a bygone era. Find the referral link and discount code in our social media accounts and in the comments and descriptions of How to Know Better podcast recordings for a 10% discount on the full range.
So I feel like the last bit with the poll results has kind of ruined the next bit where we're going to talk about next game because everyone's already sort of spoke about Wolves. But we're going to speak about it again because it's going to be a really short podcast if we don't. So,
So you want to go predictions?
Auto Know Better predictions.
We could do that first.
All right then. Fucking hell, you took me by surprise there, pal. All right, go.
Little trotters.
Give him a little bit of power, he goes nuts. Go on, Gilly, take it away, mate. It's your sort of domain, isn't it?
I'm getting a beer.
I'll come straight
I'm going to have to go get
I won't go to Smarty then. I'll come straight back to you. What you thinking? By the way, I've already written mine down.
Fair enough. Fucking hell. I actually thought about what score I think it's going to be. I'm going to go for 2-1 Leeds. I don't think it's going to be a big win, and I don't think we'll keep clean sheets with shit. But I think we're going to win it, as I said. So I hope it's not Traore that scores their goal, because we'll never hear the fucking end of it.
Told you to play him up front. Go on, Luke, what we having?
Are we going to give a little bit of a breakdown of the game? Are we just giving predictions then, or what's the crack?
I don't know. They've gone ass about face on it, but we can talk about a game after we've done predictions if you want.
Yeah, just give your predictions.
Yeah. So my prediction's going to be a score draw 1-1. I think we'll be a bit tighter at home, but I think we'll nick a goal. So yeah, going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Right?
What are you saying, Gilly? Oh, okay.
I think
it's to me, mate. Back off.
Oh man, I've lost it now. I'm done.
You think we're going to get beat 2-1?
Half an hour, 23 minutes, and he's fucked it. He's in bin. I think we're going to get beat 2-1. Wolves are a little bit of a bogey team for us. And I just don't see where the goals are coming from at the minute. There's a question mark over whether Phillips is going to be available. If Rafinha's playing, Bamford looks like he's going to be out for a little bit longer. You know, I'm looking at those. Those are our most creative players because Rodrigo's certainly frigging in. So yeah, I think 2-1 to them.
Fair enough. I've got 1-1, and I think Adama scores an own goal and Jimenez scores for them.
Is that because you think they're going to beat us as well?
No, I genuinely, I think score draw. I'd already written down 1-1. I think that's. And I'd said a point against them, point against Brighton, and a win against Norwich. So sticking with what I'd gone with in the poll results. Back to you, Jay.
I'll totally forget what I said about all those games because I do everything off the cuff. There's no planning.
So I've written down now.
18 points from 5 games, you said, didn't you?
Shut up. Not that bad.
13 points from 15. The mathematician there with fucking abacus.
Say, you're killing me here. So I mean, we'll get into the Wolves game, just like how we think it's going to go and stuff. But it's a funny one tonight because we've kind of covered everything we're talking about in little bits. But fuck it. So I mean, I think it's going to be tough. Like you say, they are a bit of a bogey team for us. But we've got to break these fucking things sometimes, haven't we? And we need something. We're desperately in need of a win now. Desperately, in my opinion. And I expect a reaction. And I think Bielsa will have been really hurt by how his team performed last week. I think he'll have took that really personally. And
Bielsa.
Yeah, and I genuinely expect that we'll see something more this weekend. And if we don't, I'll throw me fucking pie at the pitch.
You'll do fuck all.
You'll never be wasting a pie.
No, fucking about us there. You've got a figure to maintain. Fucking cheese wedge ultra over there, giving it big looks with his fucking pie tits.
Fuck off, Newsom.
Like I say, they're a bit of a bogey team of ours, aren't they, Wolves? I really would like to beat them, but I just can't see it. They're a really, really good side, and they're playing them pretty well at the minute. I suppose it depends on the day. Once I'm in the stadium, and it's kick-off, I think we're invincible and we can beat anyone. And on our day, we can. It just depends what formation we're playing and what available players there are. It's one of them, innit? It's a question mark. We could absolutely trounce them, but we could get fucking absolutely pumped. It goes back to last season. So you just don't, do you? But hopefully, it's the Saints game's given them a bit of a kick up the arse, and rightly so. He's given them all a good rodding. And made them do laps in the just a Grundies, just to punish them. Take all your clothes off, go for a run in them fucking underpants.
Get them running past prison outside.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, do you know we used to do that? We used to do that at football and rugby. If you didn't score a goal or a try all season, you'd have to do what's called the nuddy run, and you used to have to do a run round pitch at the end of the last game in front of all the fans and that. You fuck all up.
Fucking hellfire.
You'd probably get locked up for it nowadays, wouldn't you?
You probably would, to be fair. You probably would. Fuck's sake. Gilly, what do you think?
They've got no injury concerns, or no new injury concerns. They've got long-term absentees. They've got nothing new, and I think a lot of it does hinge on the players that we can make available. I think it's confirmed that Paddy's out, but if Rafinha and Calvin come back in, then it really does make us a different proposition, doesn't it? So I think there's that to take into account. I think we're in a position where the Rodrigo experiment, I think it's fair to say it's failing, whether it's failed or not. It is failing at the moment, but we really don't have an alternate option. But I think the Strike experiment in centre mid has failed. And I think failed miserably. He's a great player in his own position. That's not his position. So I think they're in top half at table. They've won 4 out of the last 5. It is going to be tough. But like you were saying, Jay, I think there's an expectation that we've got that we were that bad. We do expect a bounce back. We do expect a reaction from that. And the players and Bielsa himself, they'll be hurting over that. Some of the vitriol, some of the shit that they've got, that'll be hurting them, and they'll be desperate to go out there and do something. And I think if you look at, we touched on the situation that we see with Dallas, where he's performing below par. We've got nobody else to put in for him. So there's a difficulty there, but at the same time, you think, is that if he's struggling with something in his personal life, we know that he missed the Northern Ireland game. If he's struggling with something in his personal life, then he might just need that, regardless of whether we need him or not. And like we said on the B&C, actually, we'd rather do without him for a couple of games if that gives him space to get his head right and come back in and be the player that we saw last season, compared to him just continuing subpar. So there's a lot of things to take into account, but it's going to be a tough day. And if you look at their last result, they played Villa and they were 2-0 down going into 80th minute, and they won it 3-2. So I think it was 80, 85 and 95 minutes they scored on. So they'll be coming off the back of that. But the thing is, if we can make Rafinha available, he's coming off the back of what he did for Brazil. And that'll be a massive shot in the arm for us, especially if he's lining up alongside Calvin. So a lot of it hinges on us and the players we can make available.
Definitely. And I think I'd rather have Dan James come on late on me when they're tired to run at them and try and get past them. I think we'd have more success with that and have Rafinha and Harrison start as usual. So I think that's a big factor for us if he plays or not. Arguably as important as Calvin at this point.
Can you drop Dan James for Harrison after what he's been doing the last few games though?
I don't think he does. Well, I think Rafinha and Dan James are starters now.
Yeah, it's the pace I'm thinking of though. I'm just thinking of him as like an impact sub, not necessarily that he deserves to be dropped. I mean, Harrison couldn't receive the ball or make a pass last week. Do you know what I mean?
So why would you start him?
So how would you start him? How does he get a starting place over Dan James, who's had good performances?
Because he's been consistent for the majority of his Leeds career, and it was one bad game. And at the end of the day,
but he's not been at his best, though, has he? And it's all right saying you can bring Dan James on to inject some pace. Harrison is pretty rapid himself, isn't he? And he's got the passing, he's got the movement to be able to take it in. In my opinion, Harrison's probably better on the ball than Dan James is. So that's the kind of player you want to be injecting, probably 70 or 80 minutes or whatever. Someone who's be able to carry the ball and go at these defenders and try and work something from the the wide areas.
Yeah. No, I get that.
For me, chasing Dan James up and down a wing all day is going to do more damage than bringing Harrison on. Bringing Dan James on right towards the end. Yeah, absolutely. That's my opinion.
This would be a great one for our YouTube viewers to make a comment on if they've got an opinion. But
yeah,
I mean, I think an impact sub is
form, though, aren't there?
Valuable. Yeah, definitely.
So much to be said for form. You can't start somebody because you think somebody's going to have a bigger impact off the bench. When you look at the form, I mean, Dan James he's not scored for us yet, but he's been he's probably been out arguably one of our most advanced players in that he looks like something's going to happen a lot of the time.
Yeah, he looks dangerous.
Yeah. And I think if you take that out of the team, then we've almost got, well, certainly if Raf's not playing, we've almost got nothing, so he'd be starting anyway. But for me, Rafinha and Dan James, we've not paid 25 million. Bielsa has not wanted a £25 million transfer for somebody to come and be an impact player for the last half an hour. So I see the starting two under Bielsa moving forward as Dan James, and certainly the form shows under Dan James and Rafinha. And as Gilly says, Rafinha coming back off that those performances for Brazil, he's probably bouncing off the ceiling, or
his confidence is going to be sky high, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just another element to that as well, though, is we're talking about our wingers. However, Dan James played inside for Wales and scored. And if we think, actually, if there's four players that we've got to pick three from, and we've got Jackie Harrison, we've got Rafinha, we've got James, and we've got Tyler, actually, I dropped Tyler and play Dan James in centre, if that's where he's played for the last two games for Wales. That's where he's played.
It's
an option.
It'd be interesting to see. Couldn't do any.
Where's Tyler Roberts been playing for Wales at the minute?
On bench.
Been polishing bench.
Ding ding, correct answer. That's exactly where they fucking should be.
So I think I personally think Jackie's a better player than Dan James, but his form recently has been poor. So taking him out of firing line might work for him, but I'd rather have Jackie on than Tyler.
Oh God, yeah.
I'd rather
have the traffic cone switch from Cooper back in the day to fucking Tyler Roberts. I'd rather have just one of them blow up mannequins just stuck in the middle of the field.
You know what?
Them exploding ones with only fools and horses.
I'm still a bit of a fan of Tyler Roberts.
Oh, here we go.
And
I think he's got some capability.
Not based on his performances, not on his performances. He's never set the world alight for us. He's not ever been. I think we paid £2.5 million for him whenever we signed him. Is it
because he's got a cheeky smile? Do you like his cheeky smile, Luke?
Yeah, no, it's because there's a player in there, and it's just confidence. And as I said before, form has got a lot to be said, and some of these players are form players, and when we start in a bit of form and playing some nice football again and things start clicking, I suspect a lot of Leeds fans will probably be eating the words on a few of our players.
I've been saying that for the last 3 years, though. When's enough enough? I mean, I think you're right. I think there is probably a player in there somewhere for the Championship. I think at some point we have to accept that there's a good proportion of our players.
Prepare to fail.
There's a good. I'm off. See you later. There's a good proportion of our players that aren't good enough for the Premier League and that are just kind of just getting by and have had good performances last year. But this year, I think a few of them have just been found out. Whether they're tired, whether they've got shit going on at home, I don't know. But some of them clearly, evidently, are cutting it in the Premier League this year. And I think Tyler Roberts, and I think majority of people probably will agree with me, he's not good enough for Leeds.
We have talked about that a few times on recent pods. Bielsa's extracted more than 100% from these players, and how long can people give that for? And I think we all agree there's an element of that in there. And
yeah, but is there though?
I think so.
I mean, marathon runners don't just fucking train for a couple of years and then call it a day. Not
everybody can give
years and years.
Okay,
let
me put it this way: we're 3-2 down against Wolves at the weekend. Tyler Roberts is still on the field. He scores 2 and we win 4-3.
I'll be happy as fuck because we've scored 2 fucking goals.
How many opinions would be changed just for 2 goals? Do you know? And that's what I'm talking about.
If we won 4-3.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about form and people's opinions on players. I think we just need to be more. I don't know. Measured and open about our actual opinions on the. Bielsa is one of the most respected coaches in the world, and if he rates him and he sees him every day, we see him for 90 minutes a week. All right, we see.
Yeah, but you can only piss with dick you've got, can't you? And that includes fucking Bielsa.
You can only piss with dick you've got.
You release a book at Christmas.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell.
That is best catchphrases. I'd read that.
I mean, Tyler Roberts is good. He's all right in bits when he comes on. I mean, he does have positive effects when the chips are down or whatever. But from a starting point of view, he's about as much use as tits on fish. There's no fucking point to him at all.
I agree. I think he could do with a season on loan, a mid to high table
with a view to a permanent move.
And I think that would be beneficial to all pies, but we just don't have the squad depth to be able to do that. And ultimately, that's what we've got to deal with.
Hence,
what we've got.
That you can only piss with the dick you've got. I reckon Bielsa said, "Get rid of that fucking idiot, and I'll give you some fucking quality set. Fucking see you later, Tyler Alcott. I'll drive you to the station, miss then."
We've got a comment from Bren, and he says,
"I don't agree.
20-touch Tyler needs to learn how to pass a ball. I still believe he's trying too hard to impress." I think he's trying very hard to impress. I think that's part of his issue. Not enough confidence is another Costa at the moment.
Fucking Costa. Fucking hellfire.
You miss him, don't you, Smarty? You miss him.
Oh, Helder.
I
hold a candle aloft for fucking Helder Costa every single fucking night before I go to bed.
Hey, have you seen how well he's been playing for Valencia, though?
Yeah, well,
played, has he?
No, I was going to say neither is anybody else.
So he's gone there to be a sub?
Oh, Jesus
Christ. He was gone there with a view to a permanent deal, I think, hasn't he, with an option to buy or whatever. But I don't think they'll be exercising that option for some reason. But let's move on.
All right, who's fucking driving here?
I'm having it. I'm giving it a stab. I'm giving it a bit of a stab. Right. Just tell me where you want to go. I'll try.
Well, it's time for the
hot topic. I'm just cleaning up my drink that I've just poured all over my desk.
Fucking hell.
The hot topic.
Right, well, this is Luke's favourite bit. As he was saying to me before we started, he loves this, and he wants to go.
It's what his course.
He wants to go first. I can tell. So, I mean, we don't know a right lot about the Wolves.
I don't even know the guy's name, but I'm picking him from Wolves.
Bruno Lager.
Tony Lager. Oh, Bruno Lager.
I'll give you a breakdown on his history. He oversaw Benfica's. He oversaw Benfica's worst ever start to a season ever in the history of the club, and got sacked after about 15 games.
Still better than Hockaday.
And that's the only time he's ever been in charge of a club until Wolves. Apart from Wolves, other than that, he's been assistant coach and so on.
And now they've won 4 of the last 5.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like a good.
Bruno's a fucking legend, then.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
It's going with him. No, I do. Just straight to it. You're killing me, Lou. What are you saying, Smarty? I know you love the Hawk. Come on, don't let me down, mate.
Do you know what? I'm starting to get a bit sick and tired of fucking Hawk.
Oh,
Fuck Dave. Fuck Dave. And his fucking shit little 10-metre swimming badge and his cycling for efficiency. And I like Bruno. I like the name Bruno. And I like Lager. So
Ribeiro. Who remembers Bruno Ribeiro?
What a guy. What a guy.
I'm not as old as you, mate.
I'm the youngest here, you know.
Look at him, see that? Fucking triggered him. That's it.
That was a bite.
That's a win. Fuck it, Bruno. Bruno gets my vote.
Are you kidding?
No.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
First time ever. It's first time ever. Fuck Dave. Fuck you, Dave. If you're listening,
hang on. Didn't you go Moyes?
No. I've never gone against Dave Hockaday ever. I won't pick that fucking scum bastard.
Cartier did.
Once upon
Cartier, the fucking cheese wedge, fucking ultra.
That's right. I want in my right mind then. So yeah. I mean, Gilly, come on.
Hey Jay, is it right about you tried starting the Viking clapping the cheese wedge the other week?
Shoes.
Mate, you shouldn't be talking about any kind of clap with your history.
Hey, that was pretty good for you.
Took me a second, but
Jay can clap his thighs together, the fucking little dwarf.
Ludicrous matey booty clap.
I think you know where I'm going. That's it, bastard. I'm going to Hawk. Leeds legend.
Okay. Fucking right you are. And obviously, I'm going for the only man who could rewrite the Green Cross code better, the Hawk.
Which makes it to a piece. It is a draw.
Could do with a comment. Could do with a comment.
Do you know what?
Deciding vote.
Do you know what? Do you remember when Hockaday was
taking us to Champions League?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was. And Massimo compared coaches to watermelons, and when he sacked him, he said, God. "I just picked the wrong watermelon." That's what you're dealing with here. This is what you're dealing with. You're picking a watermelon over somebody who's won 5 out of the last 4 of the Premier League.
I'd rather pick a watermelon than
wrong watermelon. It could have been the right watermelon under a different leader.
Exactly.
Exactly. Interesting talking point. I'm sick of it. Thought I'd change it up. I like Bruno. I like the name Bruno. It's a bit exotic. It's a bit exciting.
Excited?
You're hard work. It's been easy when you've been.
I said that a bit wanky, didn't I? It's like when Jay says Bielsa. Fucking Bielsa.
What's wrong
Beelzebub.
It's Bielsa, not Bielsa.
I say both, mate.
You're on about fucking Beelzebub. You're obsessed. He's got Tenacious D on repeat.
Well, that's what you get for being a fan of metal, innit?
Hey, mate, there's nothing wrong with metal.
Except all of it.
Everything tried to kill the metal, but the metal survived.
You're boring life out of me.
I'm just looking for fucking tumbleweed fucking vid. Do we not have that one?
Listen, it's not my fault that you lot don't get good music and you want to listen to shite.
But then again, you.
Fucking hell with that.
Just in the default videos.
That was Cal's countdown to ask a question.
Careful, a countdown.
You mean answer?
Fucking hellfire.
That's Cal's fucking word count for answering one.
Casco countdown.
That's going to have to be a thing. Can you get that voice to say it? The Casco.
Yeah, I think I probably can.
And then we'll just set him off, give him a topic to talk on.
Yeah.
That can
but if we just want to talk, if we have got something else to talk about, how funny is it, Derby, that they've advertised that you can go down and watch them train now? They charge us $200,000
I think we'll be getting a fucking
Very well
refund off
spent.
them.
Cheeky cunts. Oh, no.
Oh, Luke! Twice!
that
Everybody
was the
missed it
first.
first time.
No, he stopped himself first time, didn't he?
Sorry.
Oh, did he? I thought
I
he
did
said
stop
it.
myself
didn't he?
just-
You can always rely on you.
You and your bloody potty mouth.
Now,
I-
I also did see that Newcastle had been linked with Rooney. Now, I don't know whether that were bullshit
Oh, that
or
was
not,
funny.
but I saw it on Twitter. I mean, what? That can't be right.
Sent it to
That's
me,
almost
mate.
as bad as
It's
Frank
Newcastle
Lampard,
fan.
isn't it?
Sent it to me,
Almost.
mate, as a Newcastle fan, and he was just like, I'm fucking done.
That's not even an upgrade on Bruce, though, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No. It's arguably a downgrade.
No, it's definitely a downgrade.
Leave Bruce alone.
How would Derby doing anyway?
Shit.
They're still bottom.
Are they?
As a
Well, obviously
Bottom. They've got. I think they're on 3 points now. I think.
Yeah, you're right. They're still 5
Same
points
second.
off the next team up.
I'd say we do a refund, but it'd be
four.
like finding someone on benefits, wouldn't it? You get £1 a week.
5.
Peterborough and Barnsley are on 8 points, and Derby are on 4 points on here.
Derby on 3 on mine. Are they playing tonight? They must be playing tonight. They must be drawing.
Maybe.
Yours
Yeah.
must be a live table.
That fucking that Farmers League we might find ourselves in next year, lads.
Oh, don't.
Oh, yeah,
Could you
but-
imagine?
We'll piss it.
No, I don't think we'll get relegated. We might do a Villa. So what we might do? We might do a Leicester, and we might win fucking league year after. How do you like them?
Never
Oh,
know.
yeah, you never know, do you?
So you are right. It's a live table, and they are drawing 1-1 at home after an hour against Luton Town.
Big hitters.
Fantastic. Come on, Luton Town.
And Forest, after they got promoted after that one result
Oh, yeah.
against us, and how they were going to go on and win Champions League,
Yeah, done
are
brilliant.
losing to Bristol City.
So, we can see the blood of our enemies being spilled. Now we just need to fucking win ourselves and do all right. Then I'm happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but fuck it. I don't think we'll go down. I think that we'll be all right, but it's going to be close unless something changes. I think we've got to.
All we need
spend
to do is
some
hit a bit of
time
form, Jay. We just don't need to be so negative. You look at the players we've got out, and almost every single one has been pivotal to our last few seasons. That's been here.
I
Plus,
agree.
Bamford, we got no left back at the moment at all, pretty much,
No.
because Firpo was signed, and Alioski, whatever he did, went and to go get his head chopped off or whatever. And
Okay, the hell.
I'm not going to extend my contract. I'm going to be decapitated. I'll be seeing you.
So yeah, look, we just need to keep the faith, man. We're still selling out within minutes of tickets going online. We've still got the belief, I think, as fans, and we all, we still back Bielsa to, apart from the odd fucking idiot online.
Jay.
Back into, is it to the helm? Is that a saying? Back into the helm.
Back into
Back to
the
the
hill.
hilt.
No, he's at the helm, and you're back into the hilt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks for agreeing with us, Smarty. So we're both thick as each other.
Notice it with those
I'm
two-
going to let you
notice
sink
it with
alone.
those two that went against the Hawk as well, Gilly.
That made me feel much better.
You're on the same level, you guys.
I realised what I said and I corrected myself straight afterwards, but whatever. In for a penny, in for a pound. Fuck it.
So yeah, look, we just need to need some players back, man, don't we? I don't see us doing any bits in January. So we've got our squad for the season. We've got to enjoy them, and we've got to start putting some results together, or it might be a shit summer for us with players outgoing. So
I think if we don't try and get a midfielder in January, there'll be fucking hell to pay.
Even if we did, it won't get played. We've got 4 shots.
talk
Maybe we
about
should
Ross
do that.
Barkley today, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
but then
that.
again, he's another one that's just going to take forever to get up to speed, isn't it?
Do you know
We should
what?
just get
Ross
Liam
Barkley is a
Bridges
cracking player, but he's nowhere going to be. He's going to be like an Izzy Brown type signing that never gets up to speed, but or gets injured
agree.
or whatever.
Going
So
on there.
yeah. I don't know. Why has he got a picture of Berardi as his wallpaper?
Because Berardi's a fucking legend. Tell him dogs to get back in the bed. The noisy little
Yeah,
bastard.
I mean, Barkley is like a modern day Jack Wilshere, isn't he? All that
Yeah.
quality, but not fit half the time.
A
Feels
modern
like
day
killing.
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah,
What are you on
he's-
about?
He's still
Jack
playing.
Wilshere's still about,
yeah,
Or
but
he's still
barely
not playing.
existed. Yeah,
Well, you know what Jay says. After the 28th, they're fucked out. They're going bin.
It wasn't me that said that, actually, mate. So
That
you
was
want to
Carl,
get
to be
back
fair.
there? Fuck off. Fucking dishes. There's plenty of shit you can insult me about. At least pick one of the valid ones. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. I mean, yeah, I don't have a right lot else to go through.
I've just got one more question. If we were to sign a midfield, realistically in January, who we think might be available, what sort of player do you think we'd be looking at?
Rodrigo de Paul.
That's not
realistically, for fuck's sake. Well, realistically, we were linked today with a player called Rothwell from Blackburn.
Right. That sounds more likely.
Yeah.
What about that waster from fucking Town?
It sounds like him, yeah. Sounds like we missed a bit of a trick with him from Town, you know, because he's solid by all accounts. And they're doing all right. They're doing all right in the league and that. And I think
in the Championship. Do we want to be one of them sort of teams that starts getting a lot of cream out of Championship? Like Town.
Right, listen,
in these early days, you have to be.
Listen, how are Brentford performing? And the majority of their players came from League One.
Peterborough. And do you know what? We were the cream of the Championship when we came up. That is what we had.
I know. Hey,
but genuinely, that Rothwell, he's being tracked by Newcastle, Burnley, Southampton. All those sides that we hope to be beating are all tracking that the midfielder. He is sought after at the moment. He's not somebody that's going to push us up a level, but he's somebody that's going to be in a squad. You know, we're not.
When you sort of
he's not an inspiring player.
When you
Let's
build
be right. We need to be improving with some proper quality, don't we? And we missed a trick with that Gallagher, is it? Whatever his name is for Palace or whatever. He looks like a right player. We miss a trick with him. You know, we keep missing.
You couldn't get him though. No, we could only have had him on a season-long loan, and you saw what happened with Ben White. We couldn't get him.
But with hindsight, yes, you're right. We couldn't give him enough game time or guarantee him game time. I totally understand. But with hindsight, he would have done. He'd have been playing, wouldn't he? Right now, he'd have been playing for us.
No, I don't think it's the playing time that was the issue. It's the developing a player on behalf of somebody else and them getting the benefit of it and us not being able to retain him afterwards. We couldn't buy him. He wasn't on the market. It was available for a one-season loan, and you've only got to deal with the loss of him the season after.
And I think a lot of people thought
Eze was the same. Eze just refused. Eze just flatly refused to leave London. We were in for him. We wanted him. He flatly refused to leave London, and therefore ended up at a shit side like Palace.
Yeah, I think, as I say, I think a lot of people assumed if we didn't get Gallagher, we would have got someone else. So a lot of the people saying, "Oh no, don't want to sign him on a loan," blah blah blah. That were in the context of get somebody else. If we'd been told it's that or nothing, I think more people would have said, "Yeah, just get him." But like Luke said, he didn't want to leave London anyway. So what can you do? I think it's
pointless hoping for any sort of magic to happen at Christmas or in the winter because it ain't going to happen.
It's a shit. That transfer window is for the rich clubs and the rich clubs only, the real rich clubs. You know, if they're in a relegation battle and they've got a spare, of course it is, and they've got a spare bit of money, they can see improvement. They're paying 150% of a player's worth, 200% of a player's worth. You know, it's not a sensible market to rebuild. You've got to do it early on in the summer, as Orta said he was going to do, and then never fucking did. So, we'll have to wait.
At the same time, those big sides can offset the value that they overpay on a player if the upshot is that they do better in the Champions League or whatever, and then they've got additional revenue coming into the club off the back of that signing. We're not in that position. You know, we're just trying to improve our league position. It don't work the same way. On the flip side, I think we should go in for Foden and De Bruyne, and I think that we'd be all right.
On loan.
Jesus Christ.
No, just buy them. Yeah, loan to buy. Yeah. Just to make sure they prove themselves and they can play in front of Ellen Road crowd.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we got Harrison on a loan for 4 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever. Well, I'm sure they'll be able to sort us out with Foden or something like that. Nice.
He'll put a good word in.
Stick him on Never Never, it'd be sound.
Buy him through Bright House, it'll be fine. Right, cool. What have we got coming up, boys? I think we've got an in off the VAR and some stats coming up this week, haven't we?
Yeah, so this week is the first time that we're going to see a combination of a look back at a game with in and off the VAR and a look forward with the stats, which, as Luke says, is happening tomorrow. And we've got a competition running to win 2002 Leeds shirt. So look at the socials from Ought to Know Better to see how you can get involved.
Good stuff, and we'll have the usual Baradi and Coke up after the Wolves game, and hopefully it'll be a more positive one than the last one that we had to do. So yeah, I'm going to say good night.
Toodle pip.